Hello friends, in this session I am going to take up for discussion a important term related with left-wing extremism which has actually captured the attention of the nation in recent past, and that term or expression is urban Naxalism. What we are finding that when five well-known personalities who are social activists were arrested for being urban Naxals in Maharashtra, when Maharashtra police was investigating Bhima Koregaon case, then a debate triggered in India that whether urban Naxalism is a new threat to internal security, whether it's a new twist to Naxal movement in India, or it's just a new political narrative to curb dissent, and thereby it's a threat to democracy of the country. So we will be doing an analytical discussion related with urban Naxalism, but first you need to understand what exactly is urban Naxalism, and this is completely a new term, a new expression which is in use for last 3-4 years. I would just like you all to remember that this urban Naxalism word gained prominence when a very famous social media opinion maker, Vivek Agnihotri, authored one book, and that book was titled Urban Naxals, The Making of a Buddha in a Traffic Jam. I would just like you all to remember this, that you might have heard about Vivek Agnihotri. Vivek Agnihotri. Who is he? He is a social media opinion maker, and he authored a book which is titled Urban Naxals, The Making of a Buddha. Urban Naxals, Making of Buddha in Traffic Jam, Making of Buddha in a traffic jam. Okay, so when he authored this book, this is what, this word gained prominence. And when Vivek Agnihotri was asked, right, that what he mean by urban Naxals, he said that urban Naxals are intellectuals or influencers or activists who are an invisible enemy of India. Okay. So when he was asked this question, that he has authored this book, what he means by urban Naxal, he said that some intellectuals, some people who can influence the opinion in the country, and they are seen as intellectual, but actually they are an enemy of India, and he said that they are an invisible enemy of India. Okay, but when internal security experts are asked this question, that who are urban Naxals? Now, this word is nowhere defined. Okay, this word is nowhere defined. So I would also use the same thing, that this word is not defined clearly. But we can say, right, we can say urban Naxals, they are, people, they are people who are residing in cities, who are residing in cities, with, right, with Naxalite bent of mind, with Naxalite bent of mind, with Naxalite bent of mind, and right, and they are working, and they are working, as activists, protectors, okay, supporters or sympathizers, right, of Naxal ideology, while Naxals are battling it out in forested areas, or Naxal affected areas. Okay. So basically we are, right, using this word urban Naxals for those intellectuals who are like an activists, who are like protectors, who are like supporters and sympathizers of Naxal ideology, and now actual Naxals are battling it out in forest, but from cities they are providing support, encouragement, protection to the ideology. This is what is the word Naxal, urban Naxals. So I would say, right, technically if I have to say urban Naxal, okay, I would say that this urban Naxal is basically, we are using this word for middle class, right, middle class, urban or city based intelligentsia, right, city based intelligentsia indoctrinated with left wing extremist ideology, of toppling toppling Indian state, toppling Indian state and overthrowing the existing democratic state structures with violence as primary weapon, mass mobilization and strategic united fronts and forming strategic united fronts. Okay. As complementary components for a revolution in India. Have you understood this? Okay. So what I just said, that we are using this word, you need to understand this. We are using this word for whom? Middle class, urban or city based intelligentsia. And these people are actually indoctrinated with left wing extremist ideology. Their entire thoughts got contaminated with left wing extremist ideology, and they are also favoring toppling of Indian state and overthrowing the existing democratic state structures with violence as the primary weapon. And then they want this violence to be caused by people, for which they are mobilizing people, and to make it happen they are also creating fronts, and very strategic fronts they are creating, and they are saying that this will give birth to a revolution in India. So I would like you all to understand that when we are using this word urban Naxalism, we are actually using this word for which kind of people? Middle class people who are residing in city, who are educated people, who are to the category of intelligentsia, but these people thoughts got contaminated. They are highly indoctrinated with left wing extremist ideology. They are in favor of toppling the Indian government. They want to overthrow the existing democratic structure, and they are in favor of violence as the primary weapon to do this, and they are just using their education and their status to mobilize masses to participate in these kind of movements and activities, being in cities. So actual Naxals are battling it out in forest, but planning is done in city. Actual Naxals are fighting with security forces in the forest, but support and sympathy, encouragement is coming to them from these people who are in city. For them we have started using this word urban Naxals. Okay, urban Naxals. Now the twist is that is actually a threat to internal security because of urban Naxals? This is a big question. And I would just like you all to understand that this whole debate triggered when some arrests were made by Maharashtra police while they were actually investigating Kore Bhima Koregaon case. So I would just like you all to remember this, right? I would just like you all to remember this Bhima Koregaon case. Koregaon case. And I would just like you all to remember that even today when we are discussing, the case is under investigation. Okay, what is this case? See, this Bhima Koregaon is actually a village. It is a village in Pune district in Maharashtra. Okay, and what happened, right? What happened in 2018? In 2018, incidents of violence and very high intensity violence, incidents of violence were registered, and this incident of violence were registered when, right, when there was a celebration in January 2018, 200th anniversary of Bhima Koregaon battle. Bhima Koregaon battle. Okay. See, I would just like you also in 2018, this Bhima Koregaon registered incidents of violence, and this incidents of violence, this violence outbreak was when in the village the 200th anniversary of Bhima Koregaon battle was going on, right? Battle was going on. Now, I would just like you all to have this understanding that as far as this Bhima Koregaon battle is concerned, this Bhima Koregaon battle, in history you will study a lot about Bhima Koregaon battle, right? This battle was fought in 1818. It was fought in 1818, January 1818 it was fought, and it was fought between Peshwa forces on one side, and on other side was British Army, and within British Army mainly there were Dalit soldiers. Okay, so Dalit community participants were there in British Army. They were the Sipahi, right, in British Army. And Peshwa forces, right, Peshwa forces were primarily dominated by upper caste. Okay, and this, right, this battle actually was the last battles of Third Anglo-Maratha War, and this battle, right, in this battle, defeat of Peshwa army, and this defeat ended the Peshwa domination. Okay, and the defeat of the army, Peshwa army, was also termed in Maharashtra the victory against caste-based discrimination and oppression. Okay, so this Bhima Koregaon is a very important place in Pune district, and in 1818 Bhima Koregaon battle, the battle was between Peshwa and British army. Peshwa army was dominated by upper caste, but in British army more personnel were from Dalit community in general, Mahar community in particular, and then it was perhaps the last of the battles during the Third Anglo-Maratha War, and when Peshwas were defeated by British army, people said that it is a victory against caste-based discrimination. So every year, right, there will be gathering of Dalits in Bhima Koregaon, and there will be celebration. They will say that this battle is historic as it brought an end to the caste-based discrimination. It is said, right? It is said that even B.R. Ambedkar, Baba Bhimrao Ambedkar, B.R. Ambedkar, he also visited this site in January 1927, and he revitalized the memory of battle for Dalit community, right? And you will find that in Bhima Koregaon, right? In Bhima Koregaon, there is a victory pillar also. There is a victory pillar, and this victory pillar is known as Ranstamba, right? Ranstham, right? Ranstham. Okay, that is how victory pillar is there. Now, this is the historical part. I just want you all to remember that in 2018, when the 200th anniversary of this Bhima Koregaon battle was going on, all of a sudden we saw the outbreak of violence, and the intensity of the violence and bloodshed was high. So later on, Maharashtra police decided to investigate. They said that it was planned that this time they will go for violent protest. So what happened? That Maharashtra police started investigating this violence which broke out in January 2018 in Bhima Koregaon. Now, that investigation is not yet complete. The investigation is going on, right? The investigation is going on. But what we saw in between that when Maharashtra police or Pune police was investigating, this, now during the investigation, Maharashtra police arrested 5 activists. and well-known people and said that they planned the assassination of Prime Minister the way Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated. So some documents were, seized during Bhima Koregaon investigation, and on the basis of that investigation, Maharashtra police reached to this conclusion that these 5 well-known personalities who are actually activists, activists, they have planned assassination of Prime Minister, and this happened in August 2018 when the country was heading towards Lok Sabha election. Now, when these were arrested, when these 5 activists were arrested by Maharashtra police, a new debate triggered. They were opposing the government on basis of the decisions which were taken by the government, but when Maharashtra police arrested them, it gave birth to a new debate that is urban Naxalism a new threat to internal security, or is it just a new political narrative to curb dissent? And if that is what is the case, then really it's a threat to democracy. So I would just like you all to remember this, that while this case was being investigated, in between 5 activists, and if you see these activists who were arrested, Varvara Rao, a very well-known Telugu poet, Varvara Rao, Arun Ferreira, Vernon Gonzalez, Sudha Bharadwaj, names are not important, right? Sudha Bharadwaj and Gautam Naulakha, right? These 5 activists, well-known people, they were arrested. They were arrested by Maharashtra police, and on what basis they were arrested? They were termed as urban Naxals. And it was said that they were planning, to kill Prime Minister. They were planning to assassinate Prime Minister. They were planning to assassinate Prime Minister, and they were planning to assassinate Prime Minister the way Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated. On that basis, the arrest. So almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. Now what has happened? You just see. Why questions are being raised? If that was the case, that they were planning assassination of Prime Minister, why till date we have not completed the investigation, filed the charge sheet in the court? How can we be so casual about a case in which the planning was to assassinate the Prime Minister? And this is the reason why, the political opponents said that just before election, it's a political stunt It's a new political narrative to gain sympathy and to get voted back to power. Okay. So while you are expressing yourself on this sensitive matter, what you should say, right? That the, what should be your opinion? Your opinion should be, right, that your stand should be that investigation must be completed by Maharashtra police at earliest, and this investigation should be without fear and favor. Fair investigation should be completed at earliest, and I would say what Maharashtra police already has said, right, because they have made arrest. So if, right, if the theory which they have propounded, if theory propounded by Maharashtra's police in Bhima Koregaon case, Bhima Koregaon case, right, Bhima Koregaon case, if it is, right, if it is able to withstand the judicial scrutiny, if it is able to withstand the judicial scrutiny. Okay. And judicial scrutiny means when it will go before the court, and if court is finding merit in what police is saying, and if police is able to provide court conclusive evidence, adequate evidence, okay, and then if it is punishing these people who have been arrested for, a conspiracy to assassinate Prime Minister, if this is true, if it is able to withstand the judicial scrutiny and up till Supreme Court, then we will say that urban Naxalism is a new threat to internal security, of India, and it is a new twist, to Naxal movement. It is a new twist to Naxal movement and is a cause of grave concern for sure. But, right, but if Maharashtra's police theory fails to withstand judicial scrutiny, then we will say that it was a political adventurism, or it was a political narrative, new political narrative to curb dissent. And if, right, we are curbing dissent, then there is a threat to democracy. Then it is a threat to democracy. What has happened in Maharashtra, right? Earlier, there was a government led by Devendra Fadnavis, During that period, this incident happened in Bhima Koregaon and then the arrest of those 5 activists. But till now, we haven't seen the completion of investigation and completion of trial. Already more than 2 years, almost 2.5 years is over, and till now, the investigation is not complete, the trial is not complete, which is giving birth to doubts. And people have valid reason to question the adventurism by Maharashtra police at that time. Otherwise, they should complete the investigation. So, urban Naxalism, okay, urban Naxalism, just you have to remember that this is a new term which has captured the imagination of the nation, and we are using this term for city-based intelligentsia who are indoctrinated with left-wing extremist ideology, and they are protector of the ideology, whereas actual Naxals are battling it out in the forest and in the remote part of India, in the tribal belt and in the Maoist insurgency in affected areas of India. So this is all about urban Naxalism.